Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to talk about Sora, right? Obviously, again, this is like the most coolest tool that we have been waiting for since a long time. So let's get started. Now, if you see on the left hand side, the first feature that you see is the recent. This is all the generations that people are doing, right? So again, you can see all the generations that people are making. Let's say I want to see what was the prompt, or what was used for that. You can see a tall, orc male, and whatever, like again, and you can also have a couple of features here which we will see how we can use them, right? But first things first, let's get started on seeing, like, in case you want to make this thing private, like you don't want to show how your videos are being generated and all of those things, you can come here, click on settings, and you can simply select this publish to explore. You can switch this off. If I switch this off, that means that every time that I'm generating a video, it will not be shared with everyone. And that's super cool. If you are creating something for commercial use cases or something else, you can surely do that. Another option that you have is improve the model for everyone. Now again, that is one thing that everyone has been talking about like a lot of times, right? So you can actually stop this and just simply say, like, you don't want your content to be used, whatever you're generating, for training the models better. And that's great because again, a lot of people might be using this for commercial projects or something that they're creating. So again, this is super cool that OpenAI has built this from the start. Now again, I'm fine with all of these because we are just going to explore this, how it works, right? So again, first is that. Second, you have this featured section, right? Right now, I think features are being calculated based on how many people are viewing that and all of those things. So you can see a lot of videos which are super great created by users, right? So this is again all featured section is from people who are creating this. Again, these are like super cool dogs and everything else. And like again, just the feed in itself, it looks so realistic that you sometimes forget that this is being generated by the AI, and that is super cool and scary at the same time. But again, very, very interesting, right? Very interesting on the stuff that we can create. So let's get started on like generating a video, right? Again, I've been trying a couple of things, but I want to come back to the page and generate something super cool, right? So I want to generate a dog walking on top of the Great Wall of China, right? And when you just input this, like again, if I'll just zoom into so you can see the prompt, right? You can see the prompt being entered here, and then you have these multiple features available. Right now, again, one thing is you can upload an image. I don't want to do that right now, right? Very specifically, what you have is you have a couple of options here to select what kind of a preset you want. Right now, preset is like, again, the style of the video that you want. Right now, we're just going to keep it here, and I'm going to select 1:1 ratio, and we'll talk about that. So let me just click this so that by the time this generates, I just show you a couple of features. Now I'm just generating the aspect ratio 1:1, which is like a square based image. Right now, again, obviously you have like a real format, which is 9:16, and you have a format of 16:9, which we'll look in the next one. But one thing is that again, on the plan that I am on, again, you can only select 5 to 10 seconds, and that also like depends on the kind of like stuff that I'm generating and all of those things. So you can see it is getting like 90% there to generate. I'm using it at the lowest setting possible so that it is fast generations, and also it does not cost a lot of credits, because that is something like, again, I can't afford the $200 plan right now for a month. Again, like I can do it for the month, but again, until you guys subscribe more, I can't do that. So please go ahead, subscribe that button so I can test the whole model for much more use cases, because that's unlimited generations. So let's see. Again, it takes around like again 30 seconds to generate, right? So dog explores Great Wall, right? Again, a dog walking on the top of the Great Wall. Now again, obviously, like the quality is 480 pixels, right? So again, I'm on like a wide screen, so this might like just look better if we like on a different screen, but this is okay, right? Like again, a dog walking on top of the Great Wall of China, this is pretty good, right? Like the Great Wall of China is there. I think again, we did not describe it in depth, but we can use this. But let's come to another feature which I really like, and like something that people have been like literally just been talking about a lot, and I want to love to show you this, right? So I want to go ahead and click on Storyboard. Right now, again, Storyboard is kind of like when I want something to be created with so in a video, if you see, like if I say like move your hands and then touch your head, this is like how a video will look. But it's not easy to describe that just in one prompt. So what we're going to do is we're going to describe the scene, and if you see, this is like a timeline. So this is 0 seconds and this is up to 5 seconds. We're just going to create a 5-second video with 3 different prompts, and I have a very simple prompt to create, right? A kid is walking in Japan, right? And then if I want to add the next thing, I will just click on the second that I want it to like change. The kid sees very simply sees a shop of ramen and enters it, and then I want the last frame to be kind of like the kid orders a ramen. Finally, like again, this is going to be probably like not super great. The kid is eating the ramen very happily. right? Now this is great, but I still want to add a couple of options here. So a kid is walking in Japan. I want it to be in like anime style, but I've tried that. It doesn't work really great, right? So what I want to do is again, very simply, I will still write animated, right? And then again, take this as an option and say animated, and say again probably like the same thing. Again, I don't need to do this, but I want to still test, right? So again, we can also like expand caption. It can automatically take your prompt and try to make it better. So that is probably like one of like very super cool stuff. So in animated, the camera zooms into a small, and we can just do this for every one of them. The best thing is that because it is auto generated, you don't need to be like an expert on prompting exactly how the video should look like. Again, obviously there will be things will be better if you do that, but again, specifically you can improve the prompt and everything. And I'm going to keep the last one same, so we see how the difference comes out to be. Again, this is 16:9, 480 pixels. You can choose 720, but given that I'm choosing 16:9, you will also see the amount of credits this is going to use is 25. But if I switch this to 1:1, the credits will get changed to 20. So if you're creating a 5-second video, it costs 20 credits. But if you're creating like a 5-second video in a higher aspect ratio, which requires more resources, it will take you roughly 25 credits, right? Again, I don't want to use any presets right now, right? And then I just want one variation. If I go ahead and choose 2 variations, it will create 2 different videos. Just to show you, I'll select that. I'll click on create. Now this is obviously going to take like again a bit more like a minute, but till then I want to show you a couple of other options also that exist in this. So if you come to a recent video, you have multiple options, and I want to choose something from a featured section maybe, right? Like, so this is like polar bears fighting, right? And let's say like again, so this prompt is in Chinese, so I can't remix that very well, but let's say I want to use something, okay, ramen, right? Like let's choose ramen. So this is already created as a storyboard. We have an option to trim this, right? Extend this into or remix this with a new video, right? And blend this. So I'm going to do like the coolest things, like again, or coolest or like also the most kind of the thing that everyone has done. And I just want to see, and the giant statue starts walking. So when you click remix, you are using this video and then taking another video on top of it, kind of like creating like something with a video. So you can change right now it's eating ramen. I want it to change into kind of like walking like very specifically, right? So I'm just going to select strong remix, right? You have options here. So you have significant changes, you have noticeable changes, minor changes. Again, you can set the length also. I will just select maybe again somewhere around 7 because I want it to be crazy, and then click on remix, and then it will start generating. But let's see how our previous video actually came out to be. So if I go to all videos and we see this, oh my god, this is pretty cool. Right now, again, is it perfect? Not at all, right? Is it like, again, does it it does not show the kid walking and everything? Maybe our prompts need to be a bit better also on that. But let's see this, right? This looks super good just from a perspective. So animated style, like again, vibrant colors. The scene opens with kid walking through a bustling street in Japan and all of those things. Now again, maybe if we extend it to 10 seconds, because also in like 5 seconds, just like to generate 4 frames, it does not make sense, right? Because it's like too many things happening in the frame. But this is super cool. At least the eating ramen part, the close-up of the shot is really good. And I am super excited to like kind of try to create my own small movies, like a 1-minute movies, and test them out more, right? So again, I will probably need to pace that out because they give you very less credits to test, right? So let's see how this came out, right? Again, and the giant starts walking. Again, so this did not work in the exact way that I wanted. I wanted the giant to start walking, right? But again, let's see, we'll try to do something else. Let's take the original video, right? And this is the original video, and we'll blend it, right? Now, when I'm saying blend it, what I'm going to do is I want to technically go ahead and generate a new video. A giant Japanese statue is being visited by students and it starts walking. Okay, I don't want to write animated style, right? Because again, giant deity enjoys ramen. This is the original video. This is how the storyboard looks, right? So again, let's just take this, blend it one in a second. So I just want to say this, it starts walking, and we'll technically again choose this to 1:1 and not select anything, select one variation because I just want to show something and let it generate. Now the thing with the blend is that you can take one video and take another video and join them together, and people have done super cool work with this, right? So and I think we'll be able to see some examples. But once it's generated, I would like to use a simpler example, which is like something that they showed in the video, and we can use that. So like something like, let's say this is happening, and then you see a hotel and something else, right? And people are generating some super cool stuff, which I do believe like every one of us can use for inspiration. But I think our video is more or less generated, right? And let it just play around. And it takes like 30 seconds, and that's, I think, will get improved very well. Okay, samurai statue awakens, right? And this is how this is happening, right? This is happening. This is one video that we got. Now what we want to do is, again, let's come back to all videos, select this video. I want to go back to this. I want to go to the main video, right? And blend it with the video that I already have. Now, is it going to work really well? I don't think so, right? And then you have the option here, which is transition blend, merge blend, sample influence a primary clip with another or something. But let's say a transition blend. Okay, I don't know how this is going to look like again. And like, you can completely hate me for testing something super crazy, right? But it is like something that you can connect two videos together and like, kind of like convert from one video to something else, right? And then you can like stitch multiple style of videos together also, and that will be super cool, right? So let's see, we have asked it to generate two specific videos, but during that time I want to show you like, the plans that they have, right? So very specifically, max video duration that I can create is only 5 seconds, right? Again, it shows me an option of 10 seconds, so that's something that they have changed, and I can only generate one video at a time. Plus they only give you 1,000 credits, which I think is okayish, right? Again, it's not great very specifically, I'll say, because for $20 it's very less, and $200 for my context, again, I'm based out of like India, so very specifically that's crazy, right? So again, if you see this, and then it should transition into this. Again, it did not do a really good job also because these two things are not related, right? So let's see again, how does the second video come up to be? It's just eating, and then the transition up like this, right? So let's use something easier to transition into. So I want to probably create two videos myself, or use something like this. Let's use this, and I want to technically just use another prompt, which I'm going to go ahead and create one right now. So I want to go ahead, a couple is watching a bird sitting on a tree. Just create that, and then let's see how this, like, again, where did the video go? I just want to select like the video of the bird sitting on a nest, and then I can just go back and take this and then blend it with the video that is going to get generated, because I think this blend will come out in the way that I want to show you how this looks. So again, that also shows you like, so it's not perfect, like, again, obviously, like, also it's like it should not be that perfect, like very specifically it's a tool, so you have to make sure that things make sense and the tool can work within its own constraints. But if you see, the physics does not work really well, like, there are a couple of things, but I do believe like this is just going to get improved like 100 times more in the next upcoming years. It's not like a decade away, it's probably like 6 months away maybe, or 3 days away, I don't know, right? So let's say our video is ready and it's still going on 98%, and so that we can blend it together. Perfect, our video is ready. So I'm going to just like, technically just like watch this, and you can see like, a couple is watching bird sitting on a tree. So this is a more relatable video to this one. So let's click on blend again, choose from gallery. I just want to choose this one, and I technically just want to create one variation and choose transition blend, and let's see how this comes out to be. But I do believe this will come out, fingers crossed, hopefully a bit better. But just like, until we go ahead on that, you can also create a seamless loop, right? Again, like something like, if you just want the video to loop into the same thing, you can do that. Recut is another great option, right? Based on the duration selected, you can again go ahead and edit this, but does not give an option because I think it's only 5 seconds, but you can use like a longer video and change the story. You can click on view story, right? Again, this also creates a storyboard for you. So as soon as I like, just let me take something more easier. So, or like a more description one, which has like, a couple of options. So let's say this one, right? Now, if I want to use this in a storyboard, I will just go ahead and click on view story, and we'll convert this into a storyboard style format, right? Or if it is already a storyboard style, you will see all the options that were created. So you can just use something that someone else has created, put it in a storyboard format, and use it as you want. So these are again super cool things. Again, edit prompt is pretty simple. You can use the same prompt and generate something new, use it in different ways. But also, like, again, like, just the options that are available is like crazy good. Okay, there was an unexpected error running this, so this is probably the first time I'm going to try blend again. Choose from library, select this one, and then blend, right? Add it to queue. Hopefully this time it works. Wait, generation. why is it not working? Okay, this is interesting. Like, you see it on real time. So if it happens with you, it's like a normal thing. Don't believe like you are doing something wrong. So let's take something more simple, and like something more simple because I really want to show you a cool blend option. So let me just test a couple of things. Okay, so I think there's some error with probably like, the bird video, because I thought like, maybe it's the aspect ratio thing, but like this is something that I generated again with like, this is such a like, honestly, like this is such a crazy video. Like if you just think about it from a perspective of how this video is generated by AI, it's crazy. Like, and I still get shocked all the time when I see videos like this, right? I tried to blend this. It still did not work with that one. I don't know, like, there could be like multiple reasons behind that. But I have like, tried something else. So here is like, how like, a girl dancing, and I have like then a guy dancing, and you will start seeing like, how this blend happens, right? So girl gets converted into a guy. Like, again, that's not like a super cool blend, but also a great transition that you can create, right? So you see this, right? And this is super cool. You can use it in a different format. I just want like 2 different videos to get merged, and it automatically does that. And that's probably one of like super cool features, and which will get like, again, improved a lot. Probably with animation will work like 10 times better, and you can go ahead and try it out. So again, all in all, Sora is super great. Obviously, just like, to show you, you have like a test for YouTube, right? So again, if I want to add like, this is like a folder thing. So again, I can just go to my all videos, right? And I can say like, this is something that I want to add to a folder. I can click on test for YouTube, and it will get added. Now, simple project management thing. So you can like manage your programs and projects better. You can like something, you can favorite it. You can obviously copy link, and like, directly like, if you just copy the link to the board, people can see this, right? So you can see something just like this. Or if I open it in incognito, I don't think like, I've tested it in incognito, but like, again, it will not show up, right? It just takes me back to Sora.com. So you can obviously like, download it, but remember, whenever you're downloading it, it gives you a watermark. It also not only gives you a watermark, it also gives you a content credential. So whenever I've tried to upload it on a social media, then automatically the algorithm on the backend will add a content credential that this is generated by AI and all of those things, right? So again, still like, I think a couple of options like problems, because downloading video is like still not working, or like you have to click a couple of times and then finally gets downloaded. So you see, this is how it looks on like, sorry, and this is how it looks like, from a perspective. But this is like a decent quality, and obviously it's 480 pixels, and I'm on a wide screen, so that shows up like this. But again, I will say like, just crazy good, and like think like stuff is just going to get better and better, and people are going to use it a lot more. Up to that, you can also upload stuff, right? Again, I've not tested like a lot of uploading things, but again, like, people have seen like it's okay, it's not super great. So again, we can just see a couple of options where people would have like used something. But again, like, people are creating some cute animated stuff that we can. But again, if you like this video, please subscribe. Really will help me out a lot. So please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to create a video, and if you want to fund my $200 experiment of this Sora and like create an animated storybook, drop me a comment, and I'll love to reach out to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.